A violent attack by a pit bull in Nanaimo has killed a cat, and it happened inside the cat's own home. In front of its horrified owners, they had just arrived home when they opened their front door, and the neighbor's pit bull came bounding up the steps and ran right past them inside the house. Before they could react, the dog pounced on the smaller animal, and just moments later, the cat was dead. A&E's Mid-Island Bureau Chief Jonathan Bartlett joins us now live in our Mid-Island Bureau with more on the story. Jonathan.
Hudson, in some ways, you could say this is less of a dangerous pit bull story than simply a dog on the loose story. However, the cat's owner says the way the dog focused on the cat and wouldn't let go for anything speaks to a common trait of the breed.
Basically,
Don Izon had never seen the dog before when it entered his home uninvited.
I came into the kitchen, the dog walked over to this side here, turned around, and that's where Niki sleeps all the time. You can actually see where the fur was. And
Niki, their 17-year-old cat, asleep on this blanket, awoke to find a pit bull inches away.
he grabbed her right here with it, and then he tried to go out the door, and then that's when I stopped him and jumped on him right here, and then I just started hitting him.
Hitting him with all the strength he had, but the dog wouldn't let go.
I've never hit anything so hard in my life, and it didn't even flinch. It didn't even know I was there. And I mean, I tried to open its mouth, and of course, there was nothing. I couldn't get him to release.
The dog finally did let go, but Niki was dead. The dog then tried to run with the cat's body, with Izon in pursuit.
Ran into my basement and I grabbed the first thing I could find, which was a rake. And then I began chasing him. Yeah, then you'll see there's a trail.
Izon followed the pit bull here, a house 2 doors down. The owner had no idea the dog was loose.
Told the owner there, I said, your dog just killed my cat, and he said, get that off my land. And then he said, my dog's locked up, and then I looked and saw a sliding glass door open.
RCMP was called, and so was Animal Control, who seized the dog.
So the Animal Control have various options. They can hold it for 21 days. They can either issue a bylaw ticket for $500 or request a destruction order. They're undecided at this point. They're doing some checking in background to determine what's the best appropriate course of action to take.
No one was home when we tried to talk to the pit bull's owner. There are many children who live in the area. Neighbors say if it wasn't a cat, it could very well have been a child.
Just knowing that me and my son were over there like 2 days ago really scares me, and knowing that the dog may not be put down kind of really worries me a bit more, just because it could have been my kid.
Meanwhile, a family struggles with the loss of one of their own.
Huge loss for our family. I still have yet to tell my son. Well, he knows, but it probably won't sink in until he's actually here.
In Nanaimo, within city limits, certain breeds of dogs are considered dangerous. Staffordshire's Mastiffs and American Pit Bulls. Owners face restrictions. They have to be leashed and muzzled, the dogs I mean, and a 6-foot fence is required. Apparently, the owners only had the dog for 2.5 weeks when this happened. Hudson?
All right, Jonathan Bartlett reporting live in our Nanaimo newsroom. Jonathan, thanks.
Thank you.